Welcome to Weirdo and Beardo number 15, people.
Number 15. So,
Fresh off the Super Bowl.
fresh off the Super Bowl.
Probably
well,
should
kind
start
of a week after.
Yeah,
but,
for us, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Should probably start there. What'd you think of the game?
Good game. I mean, really, I think that there was, including overtime, about 2.5 good quarters of the game that were entertaining. Who were you going for?
I didn't necessarily have a horse in the race, so to speak.
Sure.
That being said,
but I know you have an opinion about it.
I usually will pull for the team that has the most Buckeyes. I know I'm a homer. I do this every fucking week.
Yep.
But with Bosa and Chase Young both playing for San Fran, I kind of like them to win, I guess. That being said, you don't bet against Mahomes in these games,
can't.
man. The guy's a fucking animal. And we were just talking just a couple of episodes ago about like, can Mahomes potentially catch Brady as the GOAT or get into the conversation or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so he's now won his third of 4 Super Bowls at age 28.
I think it's hard to debate that he's not in the conversation.
Well, he's on the path 10 Super Bowls for Brady.
Fucking
though.
A.
10 Super Bowls.
10.
Like,
I know that.
Can he keep doing it? Like, will the organization put him in a position to keep doing it?
Who knows?
Obviously, he's got the arm talent. But what we've seen, and I think you said it the last time we got together, is you look at the studs that have been taken away from him in KC.
Yeah.
And he just keeps on churning, right?
I think to a certain degree, it's what will be detrimental to him, in my opinion, is the money that he's going to have to demand in order to, that he deserves. Don't get me wrong, but that was one thing that was really cool about Brady is Brady would take less money so that they could protect, so that he could get more. They get more on the team.
Jordan did the same thing with the Bulls. He did,
and it's smart.
Yeah. Well, when you're getting that much endorsement money,
who
let
fucking cares?
let the teams cap.
That's right.
Spend money on other people and get championships. You don't need money.
Yeah, championships. You'll get the endorsements.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, it's
for sure. I was also glad in the Super Bowl that they didn't. I was afraid they were going to turn it into the Taylor Swift show. And I feel like they didn't go completely overboard. Now, every time they threw the damn ball to Kelsey, they do show her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I read somewhere, I think I mentioned it in our last podcast, that I think they're estimating her contribution to the NFL, like by whatever logarithm they figure that out, is like $450 million now.
It's crazy.
Fuck. All these women are tuning in that never would have.
My daughter watched
all the Swifties
to see Taylor Swift, and she cared about it. She wanted the Chiefs to win because of Taylor Swift.
I wonder how much like neutral fans got pushed to KC because all these people are about the Swifties.
But then there's the haters too.
That's true. So it could completely turn them off.
Yeah.
But I thought overall the game we got was a good one. You know what I mean? I think what killed San Fran is
an overtime game.
That was amazing. I think San Fran just left too many points on the board with opportunities to score early.
I felt like, especially in overtime, KC was playing to win. San Fran was playing to not lose.
Probably.
You know what I mean? In is how it seemed to me.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where their fall came from, in my opinion.
Yep. And Mahomes just did a good job of staying just out of sack trouble because Bosa was chasing that dude down I think Chase Young got a sack, but Bosa looked like he was about a split second away from a half dozen sacks. And Mahomes just takes a couple of steps, throws a sidearm pass, and he's out of trouble,
And I thought it was kind of, so, they got rid of Wilkes, right? So San Fran fired Wilkes, which I feel like is a cop out for Shanahan because I don't think it was the defense that lost that game for them.
I agree.
It was really the play calling on the offense for San Francisco. I mean, when you got a guy that can run like that, why did he not carry 3 times as much as what they gave him?
McCaffrey is so good. The only thing I can think of is that KC, and I didn't pay a ton of attention to this, but like, was KC just completely stuffing the box to take McCaffrey out of it?
I don't know.
And daring Purdy to try to beat him. You know what I mean?
He still averaged like 6 yards a carry or something like that.
The guy's an
fucking
animal. I know. He's so good.
Why is he not carrying? Why are 50% of your plays not him?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by that too.
And he can catch. And
he's amazing.
He's a great receiver too. His yards after catch are incredible.
Overall best back in the league, I would say.
By far. Not even close.
I'm a Browns homer, and I think Chubb is the best pure running back.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to what today's NFL is, which is guys catching balls out of the backfield, McCaffrey's on a different level, I think, than almost anybody.
I agree. One thing I'm tired of, sick and fucking tired of, let's call it that. One thing I'm tired of is all of the San Fran people saying they didn't know the fucking overtime rules.
That's not an excuse.
That-
How do you not know?
That's what they're saying. It's not fair. It's rigged because San Fran didn't know the fucking rules. Give me a fucking break. You're a professional fucking athlete.
Well, I'll tell you where San Fran fucked up is they won the coin toss going into overtime and took the ball first.
Right.
You never do that. Like, let the other team see what they're doing first and then know what you've got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't know. I thought that was a mistake. You could see the look on Mahomes' face. He was surprised when they said, yeah, we'll take the ball.
I've heard because he was mic'd up.
Yeah.
I was happy.
We'll go that way.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll go that direction.
Yeah. Fuck it. He even, I've seen clips of him when he was mic'd up, where he's like, I can't believe they gave us the ball second.
That's shocking.
But they did explain the fucking, I knew the rules by the time.
The coaches knew the rules.
Well, but once they explained it, you knew what the fucking rules were. They explained it right before.
They've changed it not too long ago, so I guess I could see where some people got confused because it used to be, it was dumb. Whoever got points first won. And so if you won the coin toss, you kick a field goal, the fucking game's over.
Yeah.
So OT came down to who won the coin toss.
Dumb.
That was dumb. Like it literally came down to like whoever won the coin toss won like 87% of overtime games. Of
course.
Which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
So the way they're doing it now makes way more sense because it's similar to what college does, right?
Yeah.
You're both going to get the ball. And I think college has got it figured out on the OT. You both get it at 25.
Yeah.
Go like hell, put up the points you can.
That's right.
After 3 overtimes, now you've got to go for 2 if you score.
Right.
And they did that because there was a game a couple of years ago in which they went into like 8 or 9 overtime rounds.
Well, and because normal season NFL, though, they can tie, right?
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, obviously playoffs and stuff, you can't have a fucking tie.
No.
So
yeah, that's just, how do you not, there's no excuse for not knowing the fucking rules.
No, that's such bullshit. And as much as I don't like Steve Wilkes, like I said, I think Shanahan firing him was, come on.
So Shanahan's now lost 2 10-point leads and a 28-point lead in 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy.
That is crazy. And like I said, I think they just left too many points on the board, man. They kicked field goals and they could have scored some touchdowns.
That's the old dick in the throat joke,
God, it felt like it, man.
You all right? You all right, big guy?
Speaking of choking, I'm getting all worked up about it. God damn it, San Fran.
But yeah.
The other thing I will say, go ahead.
Oh, no.
The other thing I will say is, I'm watching the game with a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
And, some people there were as excited about the commercials as they were about the game, right? Because back in the day, Cat's one. Back in the day, the commercials were fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They were funny. They were surprising.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I love the old school Clydesdale Budweiser thing and the dog. Like, I love all that shit. You know what I mean? It'd be a series of commercials throughout the game.
Right.
And the last couple of years, they just kind of sucked. And I mean, I don't care that much, but we specifically watched them all thinking there was going to be something good, and it never came.
Yeah. No, there was nothing excellent.
No, the little babies that were playing pickleball was kind of funny. I like the kid's line. He's like, hey, thanks for coming to the clinic. The first one's free. I'm like, the baby talking shit was pretty funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that line. That was pretty good. But the rest of it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
They were weird and dumb. And what were they paying? $7 million for a 30-second spot?
Yeah. I think that's so many people in fucking advertising are just not, they're all fucking woke.
Yeah.
They're all a bunch of bitches.
Right.
And I'm in marketing. Like,
right.
Right. They are.
That's like, if you're going to spend that much, put a good fucking product out there.
Well,
those commercials were fucking awful.
One of the reasons I got into marketing, if you remember, because we worked there at the same time, was because I was so tired of all the bullshit.
Yeah.
No, we're trying to sell something here, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Yeah. It just impacts sales so much. I was surprised at how bad some of those were when you know how much they're spending on it.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Fuck, put your money somewhere else because you shit the bed on this. Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But yeah.
Overall, I think we got the game. All I wanted was a really good game. You know what I mean? And I was really close to I didn't bet it, but I was close to putting money on San Fran and just laying the points. I think the final line was 1.5. And I kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, overall, it was still a good game.
It was a good game.
I
just didn't want to see a blowout.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel like there was 2.5 good quarters of the 5. Because 3 seconds left in overtime. That's another quarter, essentially.
Well, you know what sucks is the linebacker, what's his name for San Fran, that tore his Achilles running off the sideline.
Yeah.
He was the one covering Kelsey.
Yeah.
And shut him down.
Yeah.
For the longest time. As soon as he got hurt and came out, Kelsey all of a sudden.
What a horrible way to fucking get injured, too.
So as someone who's torn their Achilles before, I knew it the second that it happened. And I think anyone who knows or has done it knows what that looks like. It's like when you're standing there and you go to take a step and just drop, the way that he did, and he's grabbing his leg. They're like, it's a lower leg injury. I'm like, bullshit, that's an Achilles.
How shitty is that?
Oh, it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Not even, how about the story he's got to tell later on?
Yeah.
Yeah, I tore my Achilles in the Super Bowl. Oh,
and then
man,
we lost.
Making a tackle? No.
No.
Jogging in off the sideline. Like, that's fucking brutal. The guy goes through
That's the
hell.
way I get injured.
Dude, he's battling. Yeah, he's battling as a linebacker, and he fucking rips his Achilles
I was
jogging
getting out
off
of
the
bed.
God, it's awful.
Remember when Brady fucking dislocated his shoulder, like opening his car door?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, when you get older, you get hurt in the weirdest ways. Like I bend over to grab a towel and throw my fucking back out for a week. You know, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I felt so bad for him because he just went down hard. And I'm like, dude, that's a year of recovery now. Although Aaron Rodgers seemed to come back from it pretty damn fast.
yeah.
Like when I tore mine, they said 18 months before you can even think about like.
I enjoy all the Aaron Rodgers haters out there because
There are a lot. He's a
It's so
polarizing
many.
dude now, right?
yeah. But I think he kind of leans into that.
Yeah.
too.
Oh, he was on Rogan talking
You know?
about it. And he's like, hey, man, I come out and make some comments about the vaccine and,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? All that kind of shit. And some people fucking hate. He's like, I don't really care.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't fucking care.
yeah. He's a wild cat. He's like all stonery and like no one really
Yeah,
cares. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like he's,
Yeah. But yeah, he's not allowed on Pat McAfee anymore.
that's
because-
what Rogan was talking about is when he
Yeah.
was on McAfee.
Yeah. So they used to do like it was like Wednesdays with Aaron Rodgers or something like that. And he's not allowed on anymore.
What did he do that was the big thing? I remember reading about it, but I don't
I
remember.
don't know if it was when he said that the Epstein list was coming out and that Jimmy Kimmel should be scared.
Oh, it
Or
was
Jimmy Kimmel won't be happy about it.
That's what it
And
was.
His intent with what he said is not how it was perceived. His intent was because Jimmy Kimmel's down with all the libs and everything like that, right? But it was perceived like Kimmel
on
was
it.
going to be on the
Yeah.
list.
He's on
and
Pedo Island hanging out.
Apparently he had some like threats come into his family and stuff like right away. Like, yeah, not cool.
So Rogan, that's what it was. Rogan was asking him
Yeah.
about that. And he goes, yeah, I've actually been on the Fallon show. You know what I mean? He's like, but I just thought we needed to have a conversation.
Kimmel, not Fallon.
What I say? Oh, sorry,
Fallon.
Kimmel. And he said, I just felt like I needed to have a conversation with him prior to going on the air
Yeah.
to make sure we were good. And he's just like, and you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, big controversy there.
Yeah. And Jimmy Kimmel is kind of a bitch.
He's
but
kind of a dick. Dude.
yeah. Yeah. Especially for a guy to be so fucking woke who used to host the fucking Man Show.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding
That
me?
show was kick ass, dude.
It was great.
I forgot about that
It was
show.
great. Yeah. Women on jumping
Dude,
on
that's-
trampolines.
every
and
show
shit.
ended
Like,
with women on trampolines. Like fucking awesome.
just a couple dudes
Chugging
out there
beers.
chugging beers,
Yeah,
fucking
just
talking
talking
about
sh-
tits. And
That's what the world needs a little bit more of.
yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that show was great. Best part about Jimmy Kimmel is Sarah Silverman. I like her. I think she's funny.
But yeah, I don't know when he started getting offended so easily.
yeah, what the fuck, man?
You know?
He's like, stop. You don't have to represent everybody.
Yeah.
Just be you.
Quit being a pussy.
Yeah, just be you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Strickland Jake Paul thing
Yeah.
I was reading about.
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking about it before we went live here. I don't know a ton about it. You seem to know something about it. I got the impression that Jake Paul said, I'll give you $1 million if you can beat me.
Yeah, it's not. I'm pretty sure it's not going to happen.
Okay.
No, I think Strickland said, "If you pay me $1 million, I'll kick your ass." I don't
Oh,
think Jake
nice.
Paul said that.
Okay. Well, the quote that I read said, Paul said,
but-
I'll fight on camera if you win $1 million. That's what I read.
Okay. So what Strickland said is that he was down, and then the someone came to him, his agent or whoever, and said, like, look, Jake Paul's fan base is a bunch of kids. They don't buy pay-per-views, right?
Right.
Like he makes all his money by talking shit that kids want to watch,
Right.
You know, which there's probably some truth to, though. They quoted that, like, yeah, most of the tickets are given away, which I don't believe any of that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Though I don't know any person who's ordered any of Jake Paul's fights. I've watched him and Logan fight, but at like a bar or whatever.
Right.
I don't know anyone who's ordered one of those pay-per-views. Like
I've never
a
done it.
person.
I will never do it.
No.
However, do you think, are those fights fixed or can he really fight enough that he's beating these guys, or has he just not fought anybody that's
He hasn't. I mean, he fought one kind of washed up boxer, not washed up, but not a real pro, like not a prize fighter. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
yeah.
And then other than that, he fights washed up UFC guys
Who all has
who
he
aren't
fought?
boxers.
Who all has he fought?
Ben Askren,
Okay, right.
some basketball player.
Oh, that's right. He fought.
and then also
He fought the tiny basketball player, the point guard.
What was who was the middleweight champ before?
Yeah, that's the black dude.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name either.
He's Askren's friend, but he's a wrestler too. Like
Yeah.
that's the point. Is he picks his fights, and he did fight Nate Diaz though.
That's what I thought. He did fight Diaz.
That was the one, and he won. Though.
Did you watch any of it?
I've seen clips.
Yeah.
You know.
Did he look good?
Did
he look good?
No. I mean, he's not a fucking boxer. Like, I mean, when I think of boxers, right? I think of like the Tyson days and stuff like that.
Sure.
Where he was just destroying people.
That's a whole different animal.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Jake, I don't know. I mean, he'd beat me in boxing, but
no way. I got Beardo all day in that fight. What are the odds? I want to handicap that
pay
one.
me $1 million, I'll let you kick my ass.
Dude, yeah, right. Dude, it's funny you should mention the Tyson thing. I remember a little while ago, like on a Thanksgiving when I wasn't doing shit all day, I found every Tyson fight on something online and watched all of them. Dude, it's his first 10 fights went 30 seconds each.
Yeah.
Like you get through his first 10 pro fights and he's just murdering people.
Right.
And then finally, at least they start going a few rounds, but he's like, they couldn't get anybody to stick in the ring with him long enough to get any real work in.
Well, it's so impressive too, because he had such a disadvantage from a reach perspective.
Oh my God, he was
than everyone he was fighting. I mean, he's like 5'11", 5'10", something.
He looked like a linebacker.
He's fighting guys that are 6'6".
I know. Bone Crusher Smith and some of these cats were huge.
Yeah.
But he just gets up under their chest and throws those uppercuts and you are fucked.
And he's throwing his whole
or those body shots
into
every punch, either hand, every angle is going to murder you.
Yeah. His combinations were just incredible.
Him working on the heavy bag is one of the most frightening things I've ever seen in his prime, dude. The way that he could move and bounce and all of a sudden he's on the side of you just throwing bombs.
So he went on Rogan twice. Twice that were pretty close together. So first time wasn't planning on fighting, wasn't anything, you know, and he was talking about all peaceful and raising his doves and doing all this shit. And then it was before a fight.
Pigeons.
Yeah, pigeons, whatever. And then it was like right before he fought What's His Nuts a few years ago. And he was a different man, like Rogan said, that's why he got a bigger table in his podcast room is because of that interview with Mike Tyson.
Really?
Yeah. It made him nervous, legitimately nervous.
Tyson is frightening. What is he like? He's older than me now. I think the dude's 56, 57, something like that. And dude, he is fucking frightening still.
Yeah.
When he was just working on coming back a little bit and getting in the ring and throwing punches, you're like, nope, this guy's still got some fucking bombs. Yeah, boxing hasn't been the same since Tyson was done.
I'd fight Logan Paul before I fought Mike Tyson. Even
in 10 years. In 10 years, I'd fight Logan first.
Let him fight me every day instead of fighting Mike Tyson once.
Well, can you think about like when Tyson was in prison, like everyone's like, are people fucking with him? And you know, there might be some guys in there that are tough that want to take a shot just for the fame aspect of fighting the champ. Can you imagine that fucker hitting you with no gloves though?
One punch.
You're turning to powder.
Like the other thing that no one takes into account is how good boxers are at avoiding getting hit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big part of boxing.
His duck movement was.
Yeah. And so, like, let's say you want to go pick a fight with him, right? Because you're dumb enough to get hit by him.
Jesus Christ.
You also have to deal with the fact that you probably won't hit him.
Right.
Like, you better tackle his ass.
Yeah. And when he hits you, you're fucked.
I remember, so this is years ago, like when I was growing up, he was down here training. It was when he was still boxing. He was down here training. And nobody really knew that he was down here training. And he went to a strip club and was getting kicked out and got in a fight with the bouncers.
Yeah.
And so people are calling 911 because he's whooping everyone's ass.
Right, dude.
And 911 didn't believe him. They're like, no, Mike Tyson's here kicking everyone's ass. And they're like, yeah,
oh, that's cute. Yeah, prank. Yeah. Click. Click. Meanwhile, Tyson's cleared out 25 guys.
Send a fucking army to take this guy down.
Imagine showing up and being the guy that's got to try to calm Tyson down.
In his psychotic prime.
Dude, I would shoot him with a tranquilizer built for a rhino before I would get anywhere near that fucker.
Oh, no. Yeah. Let him beat everyone up. I don't
fuck it. I'm leaving. I don't care. I'm just going to record this and watch him smash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude was frightening, man.
Yeah.
And now he seems so cool now, though. Like you've seen him in these interviews, and like he just seems like such a down to earth guy, just talking about his life and shit. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen the clip where he kicks Dana White out of the seat he wants to sit in on the plane?
Yeah, and Dana just gets up and it's like, all right.
Yeah, he goes, I want to sit there. And he goes, no, well, I'm sitting here. But that's the seat. Well, sit right there. No. I want to sit there.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever you want, Mike. Just whatever. Did you see the one where Segura is on the flight and Tom Segura is going to fly somewhere to his show and Tyson's on the same flight doing something. I forget what city they were going to. And Tyson actually walks over to him and it's like, hey, I'm a fan. You know what I mean? And hey, I'm a fan. You know what I mean?
His voice is the best.
Talk about a voice not matching what you look like. There has never been a bigger, holy shit, does your voice not?
It's amazing.
You know who teased him about his voice? Fucking no one.
No one
ever. From the time he was 6, no one touched that fucking
the history
dude.
of the world.
No, never. They're just like, hey, that's an awesome voice you got. You should be in the opera. But he comes over and says something to Segura about like being a fan and all this kind of stuff. And Segura's like, holy shit, really? Couldn't believe it. And he's like, what are you doing? And Segura's like, yeah, I got a show tonight. And Tyson's like, oh, where is it? And he's just like, oh, he tells him what it is. He's like, okay, great, I'm going to come. Is it okay if I bring? And he's like, yeah, whatever. And
Obviously.
He's like, and fucking Tyson showed up and like was in the crowd. He's like, he was so blown away. He's like, I love this guy. And he's coming up to me saying, can I come? And he's like, he talked to him the whole flight. And Tom was like, holy shit. He couldn't believe it.